Can you wash Dyson filters in the washing machine? The manual says you should only rinse them by hand with cold water, so technically, no, you shouldn't. But can you actually wash them? Under normal conditions, you should never need to do anything other than hand rinsing with cold water. Normal household dust rinses right out if you follow the instructions. Discoloration is cosmetic and doesn't affect performance, and as long as the instructions are followed and there's been no abuse, the filters are designed to last the lifetime of the product. Under rare situations, it's possible to accumulate certain types of dust on the filters that simply doesn't come off with a water rinse. The only time I've been able to reproduce this is by sucking up a lot of ultrafine talcum powder for testing videos, and would never normally happen in real-world use. I noticed that after rinsing and drying, the talc was still stuck on the HEPA filter, affecting performance. There's nothing in the manual about avoiding talc, which is a soft mineral rock and found in the home, albeit in very low quantities. But this was an example Dyson don't provide any guidance on, surprisingly. I managed to fix the problem using washing powder. Filters are delicate with lots of hard plastic. That's not good for the washing machine, and a normal cotton wash with spin, like for clothes, would be far too aggressive and likely destroy the filter, which is presumably why Dyson advised against it. However, the wool cycle on some machines simulates hand washing. Again, I don't recommend this because it goes against the manual, but this solved a problem that the manual didn't address. Rinse the bulk of the dirt off the filter first. Choose the wool cycle and give it more washing time. Reduce the temperature to its minimum. 20 degrees is lukewarm and enough for the chemistry of good washing powder to work. Any hotter and you can soften and damage adhesives used to bind the filter together. Disable the spin completely. This avoids the hard objects from banging around and the spin forces ripping the delicate materials to shreds. Use only washing powder, not liquid tabs which contain other filter blocking chemicals, and only use a tiny amount, no more than a teaspoon. And don't use any fabric softener. This will block up the fine pores of the HEPA filter and make it worse than when it went in. You can even put the filters inside a pillowcase for added protection. The wool cycle on some machines fills the drum up with water and occasionally slashes it around gently. It drains and fills back up during rinse cycles and is very similar to hand washing. Incidentally, you can wash face masks this way too. When it's done, take the filters out and squeeze and flick any excess water out by hand as the manual recommends. Then leave them to air dry for a day, which can be sped up with a cool fan. Never use heat or a tumble dryer, just as the manual recommends, which could warp the plastics or damage the delicate materials, especially as it throws and bangs them around. I washed all kinds of filters from modern Dyson machines this way for this video, after the recent flower test video, and they came out nicely. The historical problem with the talc was also fixed this way too. Still, I don't recommend doing this in general because there is risk, and the manual doesn't advise it. But Dyson should develop filters that are officially wool cycle friendly, given that there are cases where hand rinsing with water alone doesn't work. Or, ideally, do away with all but voluntary filter maintenance using their kinetic technology. I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.